My beautiful stars, reading time. We're going for our beautiful SJ Oracle deck today. I haven't used these for a while. Let's see what's going on with you guys. I'm hearing in my mind, well, that got out of hand. Maybe you've just recently had a bit of a disagreement with someone. Let's see. Okay. Main collective. Oh, good. Kind of lines up. You're breaking free from control. I have a feeling this collective, you've just recently put boundaries up with someone. Finally breaking free from resisting certain chains. Feeling like you've been puppeted to someone or a situation. I feel this collective, maybe you finally found your voice with something here. Okay, as soon as that came out. All right, what I'm getting from this, I will confirm. This collective, surprise call, rapid movement forward, action with reunion. I feel this collective, you've had movement here, didn't go to plan. So there's something here, like I said, I'm hearing, well, that got out of control. I feel this collective, whatever came through on your table, this could be a connection that maybe for a long time you've wanted this, but whatever's happened of recent, I feel this collective, again, there's something about your boundaries that you finally found strength with. Hold on a second. I just want to quickly confirm if there has been movement. Let's just pull 3 cards. Communicate, they'll be back, or I guess confession. Let's see. Okay. That's what I feel. Maybe there hasn't been movement of recent. Maybe this is something that happened a while ago. I don't think this is on its way because I'm feeling the energy as if it's like I said, there's something that's happened for the right collective that has finally made you realize that maybe this is a waste of time. This person may present very emotionally unavailable. I feel this collective, you're really standing in strength here when it comes to this whole situation. Manifestation or not, maybe you did, again with this reunion here, think that this was a manifestation, something that you were hoping for a long time. Just as a detail, travel, you could be traveling, this person, you could travel for work, you could be a long distance relationship here. Let's roll a big dice. Why am I feeling this maybe could be a bit more past tense? 4 has been coming out so much of recent. This could have happened 4 days ago, 4 months ago, 4 weeks ago. 4, that could be your life path. 11 could have happened 11 weeks ago, 11 days ago. I doubt it would be 11 months unless it's something that's re-entering your life right now, especially with retrograde or in November. I doubt it was last April. That's nearly a year. Hold on a second. Now I'm getting confused. Let's roll just a normal dice. If a 6 comes out, no movement. If anything else, this could be about an energy that's maybe realigning with you from something that got out of control. Maybe there's been silence here. 6, not movement. No. Why do I feel maybe this energy is accessing you now? That's what I'm getting from this. Spy, as I said it. I feel the right collective, and I will break it all down. What I'm getting, feeling this, I feel you've got someone connected to you that something's happened, something got out of control. Maybe you guys were coming close to coming into a reunion, or this is what you had an expectation of, right? The action came in very rapid, very fast, literally surprised you, caught you off hand, like caught you off guard. And however this person presented in this situation, they presented like this. Now, this collective, if this was an expectation of yours, and let's say you hadn't heard from this person for a while and they popped up, and that's probably why you got surprised, like, oh my God, but you still had an expectation you guys would, sorry, you can't see it, you guys would come back into alignment and things didn't go to plan. Maybe this collective, you delivered some hard truths here, right? Because the right collective, I feel whatever's happened last point with this person, who I feel is coming back in your energy, right? Makes sense with the cosmic alignments right now. If this has just kind of resurfaced and you're reflecting on this, someone's got their eye on you, doing more research. That's the feeling I'm getting from this collective. This reunion action surprise call. We've got no movement this week for this collective, but this is going to be a clarity reading. Hold on, I just want to get these. I want to confirm who this spy is to this collective. Break up. So it did. So when this came through, didn't go to plan. I don't even think you guys were. I think it was to have reunion here. It was something you were hoping for, right? But however this door ended up slamming, I think it was done in a painful way. Like I said, the main message is that got out of hand. Okay, travel. Oh. I don't think this is coming this week, but I do think this energy, from what I can feel, it's lingering around you, this collective. Maybe there's something to do with travel distance right now, which is, especially if you went through a big ignition, maybe this is kind of the distance between you guys is an obstacle that maybe this person and you would be reflecting on. Hold on, I want one more for this. Or if you are planning on traveling soon, maybe that's when you're going to get this communication and it's going to catch you off guard. I heard that specifically. Let's get one more. Yes, that last detail is important. Don't make a fit. But, okay. We've got, yes, luck is on your side. Lady Beetles could be important. To have, I think yes is to confirm the travel, the distance, the obstacles, right? Communication coming in the midst of travel. But these two aren't bad. Like, this card here is about someone wanting to compromise, right? Forgive, work it out. And to have luck on your side with this, that's not bad. Hold on. I want one more overall. Oh, and it fell. Did you see where that fell? On the little spy. So you do. They'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. Let's confirm who this spy is. Let's confirm. Hold on a second. Okay. So that 4 and 11 may be important as well. Maybe the 11th of April, because it's lingering. Not this week, but I will get more cards to confirm everything. Hold on. Let's see who this little spy is to collective. So this is how you would be, how your perception on this person. This spy to collective. Oh. Someone that's confused you a lot, let's put it that way. Someone, okay. Again, I do think this collective, you really hope for an opportunity here. I think you yourself have been sitting on certain decisions when it comes to this person. I am feeling a little bit of a standoff here. But I do think how this person's behavior presents to you, sometimes you can question your sanity towards this. And I do think this card is about, again, considering options and decisions. But I'm feeling for this collective, because it's to you guys to line up to this person. I think this person has maybe made you feel like an option with their behavior, right? Do I think you like hopefully this is gonna make sense. It's making sense in my mind. I don't think this person's ever put you in competition with someone, but I just think the way that they've always presented behavior wise, maybe you have felt that it's because they've just kind of, they're keeping you there as an option, right? Right, collective, this will make sense. And it's funny, this card specifies shiny object syndrome. Maybe you know that to be a personality trait of this person. Easily sidetracked, you know, sidetracked by the latest and greatest. Bit of a sensationalist personality. But definitely when it comes to whoever this spy is, it's made you lack focus. And it makes sense with this because you finally feel like you've really broken free from the shackles of this person. Okay, so they could be someone that's quite paranoid. Maybe you would have examples of this, especially because this collective, you've gone through a breakup. So there'd be memories of a relationship. Again, you're wanting a reunion. Maybe in your relationship, this person, again, they're paranoia. They could have struggled with some insecurities. One of those connections where, you know, they were highly accusatory, always checking everything with a fine tooth. Like they would have presented very paranoid about little things, always kind of doom and gloom, expecting the worst, right? Maybe starting arguments out of nowhere, projection, but a little bit paralyzed in fear. So maybe when this person experiences some form of powerlessness, they have a scarcity mindset, again, always kind of expecting the worst, and it can get them trapped in fear. And maybe this collective, you believe that this person has a lot of fear over your dynamic, maybe getting hurt again. Maybe every time you guys communicate, again, I'm hearing, well, that got out of hand. I definitely feel this person towards collective when it comes to real depth and vulnerability and knowing their triggers. I don't think this person really understands themselves. But this collective, if this person was really on top of you, maybe a little bit jealous, always, again, the paranoia, this and that, you could have really felt this person was really invested because, and I know this sounds crazy, but a lot of people think that obsessive jealous love means that this person's just completely fixated. That's coming from insecurities, right? You're triggering their insecurities. And I feel this collective, because of this energy, it's like you had moments of literally thinking you were the one for this person. Don't make it fit. This is coming to my mind for a reason. Oh, that's still going. But clearly, after this ending, that door was slammed shut, right? And you've probably dealt with a different version since then. Again, making you feel like an option. Them really confusing you with intentions and biggest thing, I just don't think you've ever had a clear, transparent intention put on the table from this person, and this is probably why your communication can get very ignited, right? And just a few more details about this person. Maybe you feel they're in some form of restriction, or they're going through some form of isolation, or, you know, you've got memories of this person kind of being like that. They would just shut themselves off from the world when their emotion was too intense and all too consuming for them as well. Okay, I do think once upon a time you felt that this was some form of emotional fulfillment, that you found stillness in this connection. Although I'm going to be honest, maybe you hadn't really started a healing journey, because if you felt like this was a 9 of Cups for you, but it was this kind of energy that I was explaining, And that little deviation, how I said a lot of people think obsessive jealous love means that they're completely locked in, that, you know, you're the only one they see. No, you're triggering them. I do feel this collective, I don't think you really saw how broken this person's energy was in the midst of your connection, which means you would have reflected those wounds yourself, which means you wouldn't have been most aware, especially if you were seeing a connection, how I'm explaining, as a 9 of Cups for you, right? But this both ways, this person, you would feel a little bit selfish, excessive, self-indulgent, struggle with addictions, that they can sit in emptiness and long suffering, that they created this for you. You guys could have actually had some bad habits here in this dynamic. One more. Of course, we've got a cosmic trigger. I felt that in the first part, and the funny, 3 to 4 weeks. So the energy is lingering around you right now, this collective. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going on with this person, because I actually feel sadness. I feel sadness. I feel sadness here. This cosmic trigger, 3 to 4 weeks to reevaluate plans, to create a new perspective. There's something here about patience, especially if this happened a very long time ago. I was really stuck on those dice rolls. It's going to be interesting in the comments. And you've just stood firm. You've stood firm in boundaries. You haven't budged. You broke free. You know what reading I'm hearing in my mind? Remember we did a reading a few weeks ago, maybe it was about a month ago, and I tapped into someone, silly Billy, thinking that you were going to chase them. Maybe that's your pattern here. Even when you put up boundaries, you always kind of cower in them. There's a reason this is coming to my mind. The Right Collective, you probably watched that reading. Reevaluating your plans, new perspective, having patience. So this cosmic trigger, I know we're trying to explain who this spy is, but this would be over the top of both of you right now. You're both reevaluating something without you even knowing that it's coming from up there. Tower, of course, they're destructive. So this person created a tower for you. Makes sense with the confusion and sitting in this 2 of Wands. Okay, personality trait, destructive, self-sabotager. Can make very important decisions without even, very irrational person. But I feel how this happened for you. It was very, I'm going to get the little black deck in a second. It was shocking. It came left field. You did not see it coming. It would have crumbled everything for you. For the Right Collective, this is to have a tower. It completely shattered your foundation you were creating. You would be one of my collectives when you lost this person. Maybe you were in the process, or you ended up having to move as well. You lost your job. It broke so many things down, right? All to create forward movement though. But you would have memories tied to this person with the sudden upheaval here that caused complete chaos for you internally, financially, emotionally, all of it, right? Don't make it fit. Which makes me feel, this can be a card of divorce too, but it makes me feel the Right Collective, you guys were living together, you were married. There's something here. You had, again, when I said the breakup and this, like you had I don't think this was just some form of little, dating someone. Like I think you guys were building something, especially to have this here. Okay. Ugh. You could see them like this now. Wouldn't surprise me. You want to hope there wasn't physical, emotional abuse. I do think this person, when they would get into this state, they could be, without them intentionally, just the accusatory, that's emotionally abusive, right? But negative karmic connection, maybe you feel like that right now. If the Right Collective, you're breaking free. Energetic implants, toxic, codependent. You could have been very codependent to this connection. Could be a connection you were living in each other's pocket, 0 to 100. Everything else kind of just, unfortunately, started to kind of gravitate away out of your life, family, friendships, not putting in as much time into work, whatever it is, this is making me feel. And just side note, I do have to say this, when you're in a relationship and that person is your be all and end all, there's a reason I'm being called to say this. It's unhealthy, because when you lose your be all and end all, you end up feeling like you're losing everything because you've lost yourself as well. So when someone like this that you're codependent to, that you've just lavished everything on, all of your love onto that one person, and other areas fall out the window, this is a tough lesson for people to learn in life, and there's a reason this is coming out for this collective. That codependence to one thing, one person, when you experience something like this, that's why they're so painful. You've got nothing to turn to. You've got nothing left. You've lost yourself, right? Anyone that finds themselves in a dynamic where your interests, your hobbies, your life, your independent life falls away for someone else, not healthy. It's a warning sign. I'm being called to say that. But yeah, this wiped you out. All right. I just quickly want to finish your perspective. This might be more of a you versus them here. I've got to get these little cards to see what's around your heart space. All right, breaking free from control. You're healing. So you're properly healing. Inner child healing. So this is good. Whatever happened here last time, it's made you go into deep reflection about a lot of things. That's amazing. There's still a bit of static and confusion here. But remember, watch from... I was reading this as I saw it more past tense. Now, cosmic trigger to reevaluate everything right now. But I think in the midst of all of this happening, that this is what happened. You were in static anyway. So right now, reevaluating this coming over you, that static's coming back. But I feel this, right, collective, especially with this, don't make this fit. Don't just say you're doing this and you're not doing this. Because you've got this here. In the past, when you would think about this, maybe it ignited longing. Maybe it ignited this. But now... if this comes over you, you question what the F is going on with me. Why would I want door energy, someone that's like that, right? You're not confused if this is going to come. You're confused. Why? Why is it coming over, right? Cosmic trigger. That's why it's coming over. So don't make it fit. Oh. Okay. Action. Oh, and that was one. Look at all the communication. This definitely took the right collective completely. Okay. I think when this came to your table, you still found inspiration from this person, right? But I think a lesson that you've learned here, I know you've got on the same frequency with the action, rapid movement, but I think from all the fires that have been created here, especially with these here, I think you really started to align and get your inspiration from self and that beautiful universal flow that just lingers around you, where for so long, maybe this person was your inspiration. I'm seeing that muse card, your magical muse. Maybe you always... found some form of, especially if you're a collective that found some form of soul activation from this connection, right? I find this a lot in the divine community, although you guys know my beliefs. I say you guys have a life full of trauma. Yes, they may finally snap your brain and fuse your brain out with a separation, but it's the accumulation of scarring in you. People that activate out of dormancy, your poor little soul can't take any more daggers, so your brain fuses out and then bang, awakening. But I find a lot of people in the divine community, because it's your separation that creates that kundalini, the kundalini, you guys can just give them a bit too much credit, and you give them so much thanks for you finally finding yourself, and you do see them as an inspiration for your healing, right? But I feel the right collective, you have learned that this journey is always about you. You have found inspiration from you now. You have found inspiration from up above, creator, whoever you believe guides you, right? And maybe now as you're reevaluating, maybe, because there's a reason I say everything, maybe you feel like a little bit of a fool thinking, why did I think this person inspired me? Why did I used to think they were some form of magical muse to me, right? I always say the right love inspires us to be our best version, and I think this collective, you always thought this person was inspiring you to be your best. You're starting to realize it was never them, right? Okay. Cycles. So whatever happened with this, again, it got out of hand, and this collective has gotten out of hand before. So this surprise call, I really do think this was the final fire you walked in. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. You broke a cycle. So, and I say this for divines, you all get stuck on a layer. I feel the right collective. You finally broke a layer that you were stuck on for a long time. This didn't captivate you into the, oh, hey, pretending like nothing happened. I feel this collective, you finally found your voice, which is good. Okay, let's get this little black deck first. Let's see what's around your heart space. I haven't even tapped into this person, and I just feel, and I can feel my energy in this reading. I feel there's a sadness. I feel there's a... Anyway, let's get this first and we'll see. All right, what's around your heart space? Oh, truth. Truth. This collective. Another important detail, you've broken free from control. You're happy. You're happily single, or maybe you're getting yourself back out there again. You're moving on. You're living in the moment. You're having fun. This is probably why that static's coming over your mind of why? Why is this coming over me again? Mirror. And we said it before. I said if you were thinking X, Y, and Z, you yourself unfortunately weren't the most self-aware. So you guys would have found each other as a broken mirror. Highly triggering connection. Highly triggering. You want to hope this mirrors... Clearly this collective, you're starting to heal your mirror through healthier choices. Making healthier choices in love, in life, self-care, self-love, being happier. So the right collective, to have this here, you'd be noticing this in your day-to-day. You'd be glowing. People would be saying, what are you doing? You're looking like people would just, you would, in your physical day-to-day life, you know, going to the shop, you can notice so many people are, you know, looking at you. People are letting you in front of them in the queue. People are giving you free stuff or discounted stuff. You would just know, because I always say that external glow starts from within. This collective, like I'm seeing my Empress card right now, you are literally glowing from within. So again, don't make it fit. All right, a lot of endurance, but through the endurance you created your own stability, and this is about permanence and growth. But for some reason, I know this is around your heart space, but just these here, I feel this is what this collective's created. Now, I'm trying to hold back. I don't want to speak too soon. Whenever I see mirror on the spread around the heart space, I see it as this is what you both are going through, right? But I'm holding myself back. Even though I'm feeling a sadness from this person, do I think they're making healthier choices? Do I think they're having fun? Do I think that this person's been enduring and creating stability? I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have to check, because I don't know. I don't think so. But let's confirm these. Good. This is about unconditional love, giving, receiving, affection, falling in love. But because the right collective, you're finally living in you. You're enjoying life again. And this is always what happens. Always. You let go and you get so many people that end up popping back in your life. Mirror. This one's going to be interesting. So this is something you're definitely mirroring. Oh my God, that did not just happen. You just got, no way. Oh my God. And what a pairing. You guys really could be. And you could be a divine pairing that is coming to your finish line with the energy I'm feeling, because of the energy that's shifted. And ascending at the bottom, you've got mirror with the 20 card. And remember, I literally just said this is what you're both mirroring. So you are both mirroring the journey. And this is how you guys find each other, as triggering broken messes. I always say you find each other as twins, but through the journey, the individual journey of healing, separation energy, you on your path, there on the activation, the divine energy gets activated. You find each other like this, but then transition, divine counterparts. You find the light in the world, right? Divine equals light. That's blown me away. Might have a good reading here, maybe. Hold on, let's get one more for this. What are you both mirroring? Oh, but the cycles, the 50-50, you're both mirroring this right now. So I felt you had broken a cycle, maybe not completely. Maybe you're halfway, that you got the hammer underneath the mirror and the twin. This is about self-sabotage, self-destructive, repetitive, the cycles. What do we work on it? Do we this? Do we that? Do we this? This collective, you've had cycles, but this is still around your heart space. So there's something here to do with the crossroads, free will. I have to get the universe's part. Especially if you've just started to find strength. Like maybe you're not in complete detachment, this collective. Healthier choices. Oh, wow. You do have soul contract, soul connection energy here. You guys could have been married or on the path. I felt that with the Tower card, which is very, very, everyone's got their own journey, but I find majority, 99% of the time, true divines, it's very short-lived, right? Very short-lived. It's like it's just kind of dangled there. It normally comes after a karmic catalyst, someone you've been with for a very long time, and then long and behold, through that karmic catalyst, you start to activate your spiritual enlightened frequency. Let it be you start watching tarot, or you start delving into numerology. You start seeing signs. It's like just before your true divine come, your twin flame, because you're open to the frequency of receiving them, right? Through that last little stint of you running your duration with your karmic catalyst, the long term, there's a reason this is coming out for this collective. I know everyone's got their own story, but this example's coming for this collective for a reason to resonate. So don't make it fit. And then they normally pop up, and it's very short-lived, right? Lucky to be 3 to 7 months. And then, like I always say, once they've come in to really activate that kundalini, as you guys are together, you start through your fusing, you're exchanging magic. You don't know it at the time, but you're starting to be more and more spiritually open, right? And then boom, separation comes, full kundalini happens, and then you start your paths, right? So I'm surprised this is here, but I was feeling this collective, you shared a home or you shared something. So maybe very quickly you became very codependent on one another. But around your heart space, through healthier choices, through you focusing on self-care, being happier, you've got union, wedding, soul connection, eternal love, and everlasting promise. Not bad. Oh, God. Of course it's come out. They could, unless you resonate with being a golden mirror, this collective, you have broken mirror, so you both could have been a little bit self-absorbed here. I don't want to say you were narcissists, but you both could have felt this was one-sided at times. I do think when you guys found each other, especially for true divines, you've both had to go on through a lot of growth and a lot of endurance to change and develop as people, right? True divines, you have to. So this collective, you both had some self-focused, self-absorbed tendencies. You both, and I felt that as I was reading this part. I think you both embodied insecurities. I think you both were quite possessive and claiming over one another. Like, I could feel it. Don't make a fit. If that wasn't your dynamic, not your collective. But if you've been growing, like, I'm still shocked at this. Is it completely all the way there yet? I don't know. We will have to confirm. Not bad though. You've both had to work on insecurities and lack of confidence. All right. I'm going to have to see universe's perspective before we keep going. That ain't bad. You got double ladybug. You got that at the start too. That's a good card. And that's both very good. Oh my gosh, and you've got the sun, the divine masculine card. And okay, hold on. I just want your last row to be about this hammer. What's this hammer over your journey right now? The hermit, the healing. Okay, just before I read this, I'm just going back to this deck, right? We talk about it all the time, detaching from the label, just focusing on self, going within. You guys come first, right? You've got spiritual growth, you've got the ladybug, you've got the hermit, you've got the sun here, and you've got your financial structure, your mission work, your birthright, your blueprint, the right collective. All of this would have been activated and you've been developing and growing, right? The right collective, I feel part of your hammer is your journey. So you would be on the verge of really letting go of all of it, the label, all of it, right? This is why you've got that static confusion over your mind. Watch from the beginning. If you are still obsessing, if you're still this is definitely, I've said it a few times because I just don't want anyone to get confused. When it comes to this whole divine journey, you've understood, or you're starting to really understand, this is all about self, right? Now your hammer has got something to do with your soul searching, your higher perspective on everything, and these are good, but I just don't know if this collective, you're all the way there yet. You've got something that's coming through in the next 3 to 4 weeks, but I think you're still halfway through the mirror, the twin flame, the hammer, right? There's something here. I'm just on the fence, talking to myself. I'm just on the fence for this collective. If that hammer, mirror, twinny card, there's still something here. I don't know if you've completely closed in a cycle, right? We will confirm though. Now, right now in your dynamic, this sun here is about stripping through the ego and the pride and self-realization. There's 2 sun cards. This one's more a lot about self, and this one here is reason over instinct, right? Where I think for so long I'm seeing it's like logic over emotion. Where for so long this collective, you were being driven by emotion and expectation, right? So focusing on success of self, tapping into your true inner identity, redirecting all the external energy into self, right? There's this new vitality coming over you, and you can see it with this. So another thing here, your resources, your finances, your structure, your path, right? Definitely been activated, and you would be going full steam ahead with it, the right collective. Now this tree, very powerful. You're becoming very grounded again in your purpose, but focusing on health, personal growth, your past life self is evolving, which means all versions of yourself, it's a multiverse, are evolving at the same time. Your connection to source is evolving. So you'd be feeling a lot deeper connection. And again, your connection is about, you remember the on the same frequency, the inspiration card, right? You're not using your team to guide you for signs and this means them and they're this. It's all self, right? You're probably not getting as many signs. You probably don't even feel the universe is around you as much, because I always say those signs and synchronicities are for messages, encouragement. When we're really centered and we're coming within, we are one with the universe. We don't need all those signs and synchronicities. When you guys are coming outside of yourself, we talk about signs all the time. You guys think everything you see is about them and this and that, and I'm going to be rich and I'm going to win the lotto. Like, it's when that all dissipates away, and if anything, it's actually, you probably feel more of an emptiness, right? Because you're not seeing, but then again, you wouldn't even feel that. You're just not taking notice, right? Comes to signs. There's a reason this is coming up for this collective. Now, a vibrant, abundant life, which this collective you're living in. Don't make it fit. Happy, comfort, again, you're really starting to embrace each day. You're finding joy and happiness. You're sitting in comfort. Leisure, good health. There's something here about a detail of health for the right collective. You'd really be, and that's another thing. True divines, you understand your body it's a sacred temple. It's what your stardust resides in, right? So you take care of it. Wishes are coming true. Birth of a daughter. And this is a card of fertility as well. Maybe you guys are destined to have a child here. Okay, let's confirm your connection. Important numbers: 3, expansion, Jupiter energy, Empress energy, 5th of the 7th, 7th of the 5th, 34. Okay, 12. Oh, and that's 1 there as well. You could be seeing 1, 2, 1, or 1st of the 12th, 12th of the 1st. Oh, you got it. So you are reflecting. Out of the 2 twin flame cards, this one I see is the reflection. So you are both activating this ladybug energy in both of you right now. Which means this person would be focusing on their comfort, trying to find happiness again, their health, this is good. Soulmate, twin flame, the 1, a pair of things, the reflection. Deep soul connection, blooming love, divination, fluidity. You've got something brewing here. This is very good. 3rd of the 6th, 6th of the 3rd. So there's been depth of transformation in themselves. So the right collective, that means your person would be activated. Your person would be on this path themselves, right? I don't know if this collective, you'd be aware of that. I always say you can't have a divine counterpart with one divine being. You're mirroring this, definitely this tree as well, I believe. Hold on. Strength. This is really good. I always say the strength card for me is like a trump card. You are learning how to control energy, emotion, guide things constructively. You would be coming into self-confidence, self-realization. That compassion, you glow. It's influential. I've allocated the strength card as an influencer because that's how influential her energy is, right? So inspiration of growth. And it's funny, the first part I was saying, you would have seen this person as your magical muse, but not anymore. Why do I feel this person? It's part of the journey. They eventually find inspiration from you, your knowledge, your teachings. It's good. Leo could be important here. Virgo. I want one more for this. This is a timing card of the next 7 to 14 days. So you've got the 3 to 4 weeks, watch from the beginning, but it starts within the next week. But what starts for you in the next week, you are going to have some form of activation with this tree for more internal confidence. There's a courage. There's something about internal emotion that's really going to start to strengthen, right? Within this next week. So you're going to feel like you're getting a clearer perspective on things, maybe more energy, more mental discipline, more motivation, Whatever it is, there's something for the right collective. This next week, you're going to feel an ignition of your internal strength energy. So even that influential glow. And we brought up your glow with this. Remember I said I'm seeing my Empress card. You're glowing already. It's about to really increase within the next 7 days. And this person as well. Okay, finances. You could even be coming into a big boon. I'm seeing my Owl card. You got the victory cup here. So whatever you do for your mission, your birthright, since this journey, you have found victory. And I feel there's more victory on its way. This is very good. This could be part of the ignition in the next 7 to 14 days to confirm this reading for you. Because I don't think you've got any movement from this connection for about 3 to 4 weeks, right? Which is actually good because it takes us past the retrograde. It's not bad. Win, victory, reputation, success, key experiences, knocking off those goals. Recognition, fame. You deserve an award, ambition and achievement. 31. It's funny, you got 5, 6, 7, 8 as well. 31 is Sun. Oh, your soul contract's being activated. You've got the soul contract card. So that last row, the palm tree with the golden mirror, love you guys, you both embodied this, right? It was, don't make it fit. So what you're going through right now, stripping back ego, pride, self-realization, inner identity, reason over instinct, your contract's activating this right now. So you're coming into a timer. So this hammer energy is so important. You could either bring something in or prolong it for another cycle. Agreement, pact, cycle, soul contract, partnership, trust, alliance, commitment, circular, continuing on, closure, promise, bond. But I think whatever happened here last time, again, watch from the beginning, whatever got out of control, I feel that's what this collective, you finally found closure in this, because the right collective, you feel like you've broken free from this whole thing. It's only of recent, right? And it's for a reason. If anything, I think this collective, you've given up hope. Divine intervention was at play. Maybe you saw a double rainbow when this all happened, because it would have felt like a storm, right? You were breaking a cycle, although I feel it's only half broken. We'll have to confirm. 25th of January could be important. All right, one more for this soul contract, Sun. This is good. You've got major opportunities unfolding. This literally says major opportunities, celebrating like warmth, growth, bold and brave. Remember, I felt that with this. Courage, relaxation and enjoyment. So again, this is why it's all evolving. Back to this part. So important. Your positivity. You've built so much strength, and more strength's being built right now in the next 7 to 14 days for a reason. Okay, this hermit. This is your hammer row. Them. So they have been healing. You don't know it though. So this says for a year or more. Maybe they have been on a hermit's journey for a year or more, but you haven't seen it. So the mirror, the twin flame, the hammer, this comes more down to them. So it's how they cosmically come in, and maybe this is why you need strength. I want one more. It's, are they coming in with that high? Hold on, I want one more. 28 could be an important number to tie you to them. It comes down to them, their confidence, their inner knowing. It's how they move forward here. So you've still got a lesson. You've got a lesson, this collective. Confidence, guidance, trusting their inner knowing, believing in their power, resilience, stamina. Where I don't think you've seen that. 28th of July. Let's get one more. start of a season. Maybe. This could be a very good... they're starting to realize their original, standing in their power. They could be kind of the start of a party, very kind of... what's the word? What's the very light-hearted, captivating energy? I'm seeing my little page of wands. New beginnings, igniting, leader, leading the way. That divine masculine strength. Let's get one more, because this is your hammer row. Oh, becoming dependable, faithful. Another card of health here. Okay, so this is I feel this person has been maybe developing a lot more than this collective you're aware of. But however this comes through, you've got to remember the higher perspective, the soul searching, showing you some form of soul activation with confidence, right? Trusting in their inner knowing, their intuition, their... I just want to say self-belief, right? Standing in their power. A new cycle, so it should be a new person presenting, right? I always say, especially with divines, you're presenting old, you're not ready, you're going to repeat the past. However this approaches, it should feel very new. Now, this collective, I think it's going to be very hard for you to maybe trust intention, but it's for a reason, right? I always say you can't go from a 10 of swords to a 10 of cups. That ain't realistic. And that's why you guys, the veils have to shift. When they come in, it's not you just, oh, yep, it's, you've found your strength, right? You should be seeing a very big difference here. And remember the cosmic trigger, reevaluating everything with a new perspective, right? But you need to have patience through the process. To build trust with someone, it takes a lot of time, dependability, consistency. That doesn't just happen in a week or two. Remember that. I ain't gonna lie. This is very, very good. One more overall. Magic. And I think I was talking to myself. I asked for one more overall. And look at the card you got out. This is good. Metamorphosis, being open, embracing the change, different, evolution of the soul, rising up, inspiration, reinventing yourself, themselves. Huge metamorphosis. It's big. And then you've got the full speed ahead. It's not bad at all. I just quickly want to get tarot, because I just want to confirm this collective, how you're seeing this connection, like journey wise, and then we're going to break this person down and their development, how they're feeling, their intention, and then we'll get your tarot for when this does arrive, right? I have a feeling, I know you've got the 7 to 14 days activation within for something, but I have a feeling this is going to be pushing about a month here. So there's anyway. All right, let's see you guys and how you're viewing everything. Queen of Swords, perfect. I love it. You're in your logic, reason over instinct. Your boundaries, you're not bringing them down. Do I want to say you're being cutthroat? No. But you're truth-seeking. You're not being led by emotion and what if. You're in realization. You have strength over your emotion. It's very good. Being very logical right now, and this whole journey you probably haven't been logical. She's the realist. Her and our Queen of Pentacles. She doesn't take shit. And it makes sense with the first part, because this collective, you've been led by emotion. You all go through phases, but your phase of being ruled by emotion, holding on to the 4D, the obsession, would have lasted a very long time. And it would have been hard for you to finally release. But that makes sense with why the static's coming over your mind with the reunion, because you're finally in a realistic approach. Your views would have completely changed of this whole journey. You're not in the spiritual woo-woo of this. You're being very practical. It's good. Oh, that's wanting... Oh my God, did you see that fall in my hand? And this is my, anyone that watches me, I always say the King and Queen of Swords in tarot, for me, I've allocated for my twins in separation, right? Because you're stuck in the mind over, you've just got the pairing. You guys could be double air sign, but you just got my pairing in separation. But your swords, even your internal balance of your masculine, feminine, when it comes to this, you put that power back in yourself. I always say him for self, unstoppable. He's full of power, action. He's just powerful when it's for self, accomplishment, achievement. And I feel all of that external energy. And we said it before in whatever deck. It's still going. You've put that external into you now. And that's why you've got the win, the victory cup over finances, self. That's why you're glowing. Oh, but look at that. That's beautiful. You've got Queen of Cups with the Queen of Swords. So you're still a soft and gentle. She's my spiritual woo-woo queen. But again, the balance of spirituality, practicality. But you still do have a bit of emotion here. There's a reason you've got hammer energy. I think you found so much strength in silence, but I do think sometimes the emotion can come over you. But there's a gentleness about you that I don't think you've got anger. And like I said with this, I don't think you're cutthroat. I think you're finally learning to let go of that resentment. You're starting to understand it was your choice to hold on for so long. There's still some form of compassion and emotional balance that you feel. And that again makes sense with why this whole energy would be confusing you. Kundalini, why it's come over you. You could be a cusp baby as well, or this person, Hanged Man, the self-reflection, the self-sacrifice. I think you had the epiphany to let go, right? I think there's still some emotion sometimes you can be stuck in, but again, you go into that self-reflection and try and understand why. And there's still a part of you, a little part of you. I always say he's not there. He's just stuck in limbo. A few changes need to be made. And I think that perception still, and maybe that's what's coming over you now. Maybe sometimes you get a question mark, but that Queen of Swords comes in quite quick. You don't let it overwhelm you anymore. Ending, rebirth, metamorphosis. I think you really have finally let go. But like I've said a few times, there's still a trickle, but it doesn't overwhelm you. And maybe when it does come over you, you take time to surrender your story, your plan, whatever will be. I know I'm going to be happy either way, right? You've let go of the face. You know how we talk about, if you watch me a lot, I always say, don't have a face tied to the journey. You make your journey valid. We talk about frequency and energetic alignment, and this is why when you guys activate, people drop off like flies because they're not aligning to your energy anymore. As you guys evolve, the meat suits that come in, they evolve as you're evolving, right? The energy of people you call in are different because you were different. Now, I always say, you are a divine child. You're on this divine journey. So what are you going to call in eventually? Your divine person. Whoever it may be, you will align with that divine connection, right? And I always tell you guys, just let go of the face and trust. Trust in you and who you are. That will be mirrored back to you. And I feel there's a reason this is coming out for this collective. You've probably heard me say it. You've let go of the face, right? You've really understood. We talk about one of the biggest spiritual lessons, surrender. Surrender your story. And maybe that's what happened in this last cycle, right? You find strength in emotion now, which is beautiful. Reason over instinct. Beautiful. But when it does come in, the reflection, it's powerful. And it's creating new beginnings for you. Okay. So every time the moon comes over you, any kind of fear or illusion, anxiety, you Queen of Swords right out. Which I love. This should be in reverse. And I do say with this moon as well, let's take that away from it. It's the moon encourages us more for more depth of ancestral discovery, finding out who we truly are, right? And that's been a kind of energy I'm feeling from this collective. And I do with true divines, every time they come in, even though it's a fire and it amplifies your triggers to the utmost to amplify your greatness, every time there's interaction, you guys go through an ascension, right? Another very important detail about true divines, if you're not ascending and growing every time, there's some form of ignition. That's a bit of an answer if you're really on this journey. This collective, whatever this last point was, I think this is what broke you free from the veil. It just, you can see your glow through this reading. You can see the energy you're putting into you. And for the right collective, it's being noticed from the people around you. Watch from the beginning. You're finally putting logic. You've learned to embrace all emotion and not let it keep you captive. Again, reason over instinct. Anytime there's static or confusion, you're trying to make sense of why, right? And you're learning to go focus on your daily things, the things that make you happier. Not getting swallowed by it. Okay. I love this. Four of Pentacles in reverse with your Queen. You're mindful. Less is more when it comes to emotion. You're starting to understand this. What's that one? Is that 6 or 7? 6. Okay. Do sometimes you still think of moments that you have been undervalued, and there would still be some things that come over you because, again, this collective, because you're detaching from this, that makes sense with the 7 of Cups, the confusion, questioning your sanity a little bit, right? But as soon as it comes up over you, how one-sided this has been, all of that kind of stuff. 4 of Pentacles in reverse outlook is perfect, and it makes sense why this snaps your Queen of Cups into Queen of Swords, right? So you understand you've had the lack of reciprocity here. This hasn't made you feel valued. It has made it feel one-sided, where in the past your emotion would get the best of you, probably in a Queen of Cups in reverse. But now, Queen of Cups upright, emotionally centered, you find the healing in whatever it may be. You trust the power of you and the power of your mind's eye, and you know how to handle it. You're not coming from a scarcity mindset anymore. You're not holding on to the what if. You're not holding on to the external reunion, okay? And this is why you can find such a beautiful balance. Still have empathy and understanding, but logic. So you're not just working on the release of them, but the resentment and the pent-up anger that you have experienced from this whole thing, which is good. All right, what do you reflect on? I think all of it, which is good. Oh, perfect. 8 of Swords in reverse. You've conquered your self-doubt. You've claimed your mind back, right? So every time you go into reflection of a mental prison, you don't need to be, you understand it. You've conquered it, right? Doubt less, trust more. Try not to study the cause of things that make you emotionally restless. Let go of anything that's out of your control. What's out of your control should not consume your mind and heart, right? You've learned to affirm your mind in moments of need and overwhelm. Powerful. So funny. I'm hearing this. I'm going to say it. I don't want to upset anyone, but there was a few comments even in yesterday's reading, and that first part, there were so many very powerful examples on how to let go, but people only hear what they want to hear, right? There was a lot of comments like, oh, but I don't know how to let go. But there was a lot of explanation and examples, right? This collective, you've learned how to let go by reaffirming your mind. It's not that the emotion doesn't come over you. It's that when it comes over you, you replace it with a 4 of Pentacles in reverse outlook, a balanced Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups outlook. It's not that you don't feel the emotion, but you're not letting the emotion consume you. You no longer want to be trapped in a mental prison of anxiety. You want to have your emotion conquered. You want to stand in strength, right? Which means you've learned a valuable lesson. In all areas of your life, you've learned the power of that 8 of Cups. You've learned how to walk away from things even when you don't want to. You've learned no matter how much I care, you keep me off balance. I need to choose myself. And that is going to be painful, but I accept it, right? So this collective, because you've learned the power of that, putting self first, self-appreciation, self-love, this is why it's so easy for you when the emotion comes over you to redirect it with positivity and things that make you feel strong, not trapped. And it's through however long your journey, all of those fires growing you bit by bit, the power of this, the power to let go, the power to see the epiphany in the moment, the power to go within and take that bloody blindfold off, the one that you were choosing not to take off, right? When you want to hear things that are going to make you feel better, and you will hear it. When you're not ready to, you won't. This collective, you've clearly wanted to be choosing you so much more than choosing this person. That is why you've learned how to take yourself out of this. When people feel like they can't let go, you're choosing to hear things that make you not let go because you're choosing them over you. The right collective, you'll know exactly what I'm saying because you were that person. You wanted them more than yourself. But for the right collective, that's not the case anymore. I always say, what our brain is focusing on, we will find things to validate. You were so sick of putting this person above yourself, emotionally, internally, externally. You were determined to find you, and it's happened. So again, it's not that it doesn't come over you. Life doesn't get easier, we just get better. But you've learned how to deal with it when it does come over you. And that is why the right collective, when reunion comes over, you get the static in the mind. You focus on breaking free, the inner child healing. You don't want no more cycles. Be proud of yourself. This is very beautiful energy. Rebirth. Six of Swords, because you moved on from the storm and it was painful. It wasn't easy, but you chose yourself. You found peace and resolve. You focused on tranquility and harmony, and that's what got you out of your storm. Justice in reverse. No more karmic avoidance. No, you were like, I'm learning the lesson this time. I ain't repeating this. You took strength in not blaming anymore, building up resentment, turning that finger back at yourself. I'm choosing to repeat cycles. I'm choosing to karmically avoid. I'm choosing to put my healing on pause in hopes of external things that don't make me feel good, that make me feel undervalued. My choice, not their choice, my choice. I'm moving on from that. I'm not karmically avoiding anymore. I'm not going to blame, shame, and whatever about this person. My choice, right? You truly learnt the power of going within. And it may not even feel like anything for you because it's such a long journey. Small steps, big accomplishments. I always say take periodic moments of assessment. Because I guarantee you this collective, this center that you feel right now, it wouldn't even feel like center because it's just been such little chips away to get here. This is huge. You got to remember, you guys, a life full of trauma, completely codependent, completely consumed by things that are poison for your soul. That most people, 85% of they don't heal that in this lifetime. They're constantly bound to toxicity. You've learnt the power of you. And true self-love doesn't mean it doesn't hurt at times, but every time it hurts, reason over instinct. I want to be happy. I never want to feel this again. right? Be proud of yourself. This is beautiful. We talk about this stuff in so many readings, and this collective you've gotten there. And I'm going to be honest, I think you've got one more little test of choosing self. Just more empowerment, right? Look what's activating in this person. They're learning that divine masculine strength. They need to learn how to lead with it. You've got this. This. You can see it. Your veils are really shifting. Be proud. Which means lovers at the bottom. You've been on this journey for a long time, but tough decision. Tough decision coming. It's going to reignite, but remember to trust your body's emotion. How are you feeling? That's all you need to know. That's why they're activating more strength in you over this next week or two. Believe. Surrender your plan. You deserve the world, and that needs to be proved to you, right? Because otherwise you won't ever make the right effort towards this person, because you need to heal those scars first, and you both need to give each other the right effort. That starts when they really activate that flame, right? Okay. All right. Let's get into that. This is going to be beautiful. I can see it now. This reading is it's going to be really nice. But I do still think you have a choice of self though. But you're close. You're so close. All right. I actually feel the right collective. You're probably not even going to want to watch this last part. Maybe this is something you end up coming back to when it all unfolds. I'm hearing that for a reason. All right, let me cleanse out, and we're going to break this down. All right, I'm going to go these first. Okay, so they're really reflecting over this no contact, the silence. The no contact zone. Enforced distance confirms they're reflecting on the boundaries you put up. They're still attached through this silence game. I don't want to say silence game, not for this collective. The silence here, but again, it's all happening for a reason. How they never made you feel enough. So clearly the right collective, you would have mentioned this. Whatever this last point was where things got out of control, there was some, I think, hard truths that you put on the table that you hadn't put on the table with this person. You could have got quite vulnerable here. And I think for a long time they weren't aware of this. There is something about that golden mirror and things feeling one-sided that you both experienced. I think for a long time this person, I'm seeing that unappreciated card. I think for a long time this person maybe felt like in your dynamic that they were feeling unappreciated, where this collective, you were clearly misaligned. I don't think you as a collective ever thought that you were making them feel unappreciated. You were clearly showing your love differently to maybe how they showed their love, and they didn't get it in the time, right? Watch from the beginning. Blocked as F. So whatever's happened here, remember when I first started, I was feeling a sadness, the ghosted, the shut out, the silent treatment. I think it's the behavior that they're reflecting on, which again, I don't think this person ever went into deep reflection. I don't think they ever thought their behavior was that bad. And I always say this, I believe everyone can change it. And this collective, you've inspired that change. Watch the whole thing. This part, so telling. Them in a hermit. Them reflecting on everything here. You made them look inward, which is beautiful. Their toxic traits, their toxic ties, what they were choosing, what they were living in. You've got to remember all the change, the spiritual growth, that is making healthier choices. They got 2 cards about making healthier choices for themselves. Their addictions, their karma, their emotional chains. whatever happened here last time, it wouldn't have been an easy conversation, and it wouldn't have been easy things for them to hear. And this is probably coping mechanism why they shut down the way that they did. And this collective, it's been some time here. Watch from the beginning. Everything happens for a reason. Change doesn't happen overnight. Remember that. And that's why patience is so important. One more. Left on red. I think this is what they did to you. As we said it, whatever this last point was, they just dealt with it how they knew how. They know it's toxic. They know how they made you feel. And they're kicking themselves for it, this collective. Make sure every detail in this reading is fitting. Don't just, oh yeah. How they ignored, how they saw your message but they didn't respond. Look at what's eating away at them. It's these words, it's this boundary. And that was the leading message. It's deep reflection, which is very good. These cards, because it really shows if they've gone through that soul transformation. It's a good deck. It's called The Divine Truth by Spiritual Infusion 1111. Okay. Their views on you. Oh, good. And this collective, you got mirror twin flame with your frequencies. And remember your reevaluation right now in your first part on the same frequency. You're now reflecting to it as you find your inspiration from self and up above. That you're finally really connected to the universal frequency and your soul's journey, right? We're now tables turning. They're understanding the power of alignment with you. Can't stop thinking about you. We are aligning. I don't think they're like, oh, we're aligning on the same frequency, but they can feel you everywhere. And it's because of that cosmic trigger, the 3 to 4 weeks reevaluating. It's a good first card. Oh my God, and you got the divine time. This is such a good reading. It's very rare we get really beautiful. This part. So whenever I see this on a spread and I'm getting it, it's the divine working its magic. Is it them? Oh, divine timing. No, but it's the divine creating this, because this collective's patience. You broke free from the chasing. It was hard. You chose yourself, put yourself first. And every day after, you've been choosing you, right? You didn't know that divine intervention, double rainbow. You didn't understand the puzzle piece in the moment, but it's all starting to unfold for you, right? And right now, this collective, they're still static over that puzzle piece. But this is why I say surrender. Trust in the universal flow and magic of life. Just believe. In you. The universe always delivers in divine timing, patience, because you have been patient and trusting the process. 11, 11 and 4. 4's been a very significant number this week. Oh, stepping out of the comfort zone, so they know they need to. And this is why they're reflecting on toxic ties, they're healing, the stamina, the white wolf, the perseverance. Knowing change needs to be created. They can't stay in their comfort zone with this one. I'm releasing fears and stepping out of my comfort zone to come closer to you. Oh, and transformation. We wanted to see this card. Beautiful. I'm making conscious choices to transform into my higher self, to be with you. The Hermit, the start of a season, truth. One more for your top row. This is good. Oh, so just they're reflecting on you, your scent, your smell, your captivating energy. They see you as very decadent. You would be irreplaceable in their eyes. But this person would have said this to you, like your sweetness, even if it's just your natural scent or the way that you taste, you'd have a memory of this. They reflect on it. It's good. It's still going. Oh. Enchanted by you. So the frequency, this is why they're spying. The more I see you, the more I love you, the more I adore you. My heart is crying out for you. Divine timing. What's the divine doing right now? Nourishing them. Look at all the transformation cards. Trust. You feed my mind and nourish my soul. So again, this is why they're spying, but the divine's making sure of it. That cosmic trigger. You feed my mind, nourish my soul. Your energy helps me keep going. Comfort zone. And look at them all. Look at them all. True activation. We love this. So stepping out of their comfort zone. I've transformed into my higher self because of you. Your energy is changing me. I don't think they're completely there. You guys know this journey, but they're definitely, you can see what they're wanting to release and move forward with. Patience underneath the transformation. How long this has taken. You've been so patient with me during this journey, but the wait is over. True love is here. As they're transforming, slowly but surely. Sweeps. This main collective, they do know you're over it. They know you're over their games and you'll no longer accept less than you deserve. And this is, I don't think they're planning something just yet. You've got to remember the theme of this. There's things evolving in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Are you consumed in them right now? Is it like, yes, because of the cosmic trigger, watch from part 1. But do I think that they've made a plan to come forward? Do I even think they've made it to come towards you? No, they're activating that white wolf. I think right now they're going through the sorrow, the sadness. That was the energy. I don't think this person has the confidence right now. I genuinely think this person thinks you are done. There's something about your transformation and it's eating away at them, right? So you're like a main focus, but do they know this whole, I'm transforming to be with you, I'm doing this to be with you. I just think they're evolving, right? They're evolving, and of course you're just flashing here. But I do think this person knows this. You're not going to handle or accept less than you deserve anymore. So they are trying to make changes in their life. Subconsciously, is it just for you? I don't think so. I genuinely think this person wants to be better. They're focusing on health. They're focusing on cutting out addictions. They're focusing on removing things that make them, unfortunately, act or do things that the way that they do, right? But you are a center focus and the universe is making sure of it. But I don't think this person has even... They've probably had moments of thinking that they want to break this no contact, but it hurts them too much because I don't think you'll accept it just yet. So there's clearly something with divine timing that happens in this next month that at least ignites that courage in them, like you guys. In the next 7 to 14 days, there's something with strength that activates in you. True divine's mirrors. So within the next 7 to 14 days, there's something that activates in you both. And I think this is where they start to build the courage towards you, right? But I still think they're in fear. Let's get, so this planning, I'm preparing a love offer for you. I don't think that's activated yet, but it's brewing. One more. You're their missing piece. And this is why they're in so much sadness. How did I never make this person realize, okay, collective, how much I love them? Why did I do this? And this is what's making them reflect on their behavioral traits, right? You need a bit more patience. And like I said in your tarot, I knew this was going to be beautiful energy, but I still think you guys, they're activating that masculine strength, that flame. They need to learn to lock in, not just with you, but all areas of their life. It's not just you. There's, I think, and I will get tarot to confirm, I do think you have a test of strength still, right? This is why, without you even knowing, you're learning how to balance that Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords within. It's not about being harsh and ruthless, but you need balance. Remember, reason over instinct. You're my missing puzzle piece. We were made for one another. Okay, let's see their emotion right now. I will get intention, but like I said, just off the bat, I don't think their intention is, it's more deep reflection right now. But let the universe work its magic. The worthlessness, they're sad. Depressed, sad. That's what I feel. They're living in a bit of doom and gloom. But this is you guys at the start. You live in it to encourage you to grow and change, right? Depressed, unhappy, sorrow, deflated, feeling empty, unmotivated, grief, dissociating from the pain. Sad. Angry. Oh, it's still going. I think they're angry at themselves for how they act in life and how they held on to anger for so long, right? Angered, mad, and over the arguments, leading message, this got out of control. They're starting to reflect on their self-destructive behavior, and this person would have a bit of a temper. I felt it when we were reading that spy card. As soon as they get paranoid about something, they become highly accusatory, they become so triggered, and they project their anger and frustration and create a lot of blame with things that aren't even happening, right? So there's a reason that specific part's coming to my mind. They'd be reflecting on things like this. And they wouldn't like this about themselves. How they tried to control, as we said it, the paranoid, the this and that. They tried to claim, clip your wings. This person would feel, this is why they feel so sad. How they never trusted in this, how they saw that you were unappreciating that. Like, I think this person held on to so much anger because of the blame. They were blaming for so long. And I find it very funny that this collective, one of your biggest lessons you're learning right now is not to blame. This is what happens with your threads, the energy you're improving. And this is why I say just focus on yourself. It ricochets. You guys are focusing on center, self-realization, confidence, things that make you happy, things. So what's happening finally? Because you're focusing on union energy, which is going to the union within, right? Which is now going to them. So all of the things that you used to blame and now you stop yourself, they're doing the same thing. Love cannot be controlled. And that only comes from a lack of trust and insecurities. This is good. The calm, the happiness. I think this is what they're trying to find. You've got to remember they're depressed. So they're in this, but this is what they're wanting to feel again. And this is why the memories of you are stirring. Where there were happier times, calmer times. Remember, they don't want to feel like this. But what's this collective focusing on? This. And this part, the mirror, the vibrant, abundant, the spiritual growth, like you can feel that it's transforming in them. I think this is what they miss in their life. And of course they would see this within you. They're spying on you. How they were vengeful, hurtful, so bitter in pain. How they held a grudge, the resentful. I don't think they wanted justice, but they definitely wanted to make you feel how they were made to feel. And that's sad. One more. And maybe for a long time what held on to the anger, they thought that you were like this towards them. This moved on. I think I was about to put that there. Remember I said before, this person thinks you're done. And I think this is what makes them depressed. They'll get there. Trust in the cosmos right now. That you're focusing on other things. You're distracted. You're unaffected by this all. Because you haven't budged this time. You dealt with this different how you've ever dealt with it before. And it's only now they're getting a wake-up call for it. And they feel the regret for it. Sadness, remorse, disappointed, wishing they could change this. But they've got to go from wishing to wanting, right? But that comes from confidence. So that's something you both clearly needed in this dynamic. You both struggled to find that strength energy. Watch the whole thing. within yourself. So you both would project your insecurities onto one another, both of you. Let's just get a couple of intentions. Okay. The denial, how they denied the connection for so long. Truth, but they're still breaking free from this. See the deep reflection? How they didn't see this. I realize there is something, but I think they always realized there was something between you guys, but they didn't know how to handle it. How could they handle you if they couldn't even handle themselves, right? It makes sense for this collective. Number 34. I do not have time or the capacity to understand it. Everything, I'm speaking as it more past tense because of the reflection. Everything was too much too soon, and I had other things I needed to deal with. And this collective, I felt that you guys were codependent pretty much straight off the bat, right? It became all too consuming. Yes. I think that's more just... well, we'll see what confirms that though. But it's funny because this says yes, absolutely, and yes, eventually. And this collective, it's yes, eventually. I put it on that. Things are just developing. Marriage, where would you be right now? I want to commit to you. I want to hold your hand in sickness and in health. I want to walk into the sunset with you and never look back, but I need to release certain commitments. That's what they're going over, right? Do they know it's for you just yet? No. But they're definitely removing a lot of baggage in their life. Number 11. Oh, we know that. Every deck. Spying. So by watching you, learning from you, getting nourished from you, shifting their energy, all of that stuff, they're starting to reflect on why they denied this for so long. But even through the denial, they were always checking in, afraid to return. But this is why you've got to find strength, because you deserve better than this, divine or not. And this is why I tell you guys, take the label away from it. This collective you have, and you're doing it. Anyone that can sit, that's wounded energy. They can feel so much, but they're still scared to make their feelings present, right? They don't want to get rejected. They don't want the door shut on them. But that still shows one of your biggest blocks here, the insecurities, the lack of self-knowing, self-love, and leadership, masculinity, right? I always tell you guys, if you're not healing what caused destruction in the past, there's no point. So even though, because this is them right now, 3 to 4 weeks isn't long for someone to just come in when they're embedded in this, right? And this is why you need to see this person's really changed. It's not just about accepting it. Just watch from part 1 so this makes sense, because it's a beautiful energy, but it's not going to make sense if you don't watch a whole reading. It's not about being nasty. It's not about this, but there's something you guys need to really be in self with and strength with when this all comes to the table, because they're not completely there just yet, right? Don't take the moment of bliss. So they're reflecting on a memory from June 21st, August 5th, August 6th, September 21st. All right, what's this yes? Oh, we know that with the sweets. Naughty thoughts. So they're obsessed. I can't help but want you physically, sexually, and mentally. You're all I think about when I'm alone and lost in my thoughts. Hold on. Sign, knock on the door. What was I going to say? Another thing with you guys, the obsessive energy. So they still have that obsessiveness. Claim it like this is another thing, right? But it's all eventually, it'll go out of obsession and lurking to movement, but it's going to take time. One more for this. Number 20. Angel, they're being guided. Now you're following them. As you're detaching from signs, watch the whole thing. What's happening? Now they're seeing all the signs. Is this them? Is that them? Are they thinking of me? The song is you're letting go of them. I'm receiving many messages about you through numbers, symbols, and images. The universe is showing my way back to you and you back to me. Trust in the universe. Okay, union. The regret. Where would my life be? think I made a mistake. I should never have let you go. I should have stayed. I should have fought for our connection, but I was weak and fearful, and now I'm here mourning the loss of you because they chose things that they shouldn't have chosen, and they know it, and this is why it needs to be removed. Okay, I'm just going to get you a couple message cards, and we're going to get tarot. All right. What are they thinking? What do they want to say? Ooh. I've been working on myself. What a good card. Perfect. I want to treat you the way that you deserve. I believe that. I truly believe that. For this collective, I completely believe it. I let people manipulate me into ghosting you. So they're actually in really deep reflection about the blocking, left on red, the no contact. Maybe there could have been advice that unfortunately they listened to here. But they've got to not blame and just reflect. They could have listened to advice here that made them ghost. That makes sense why that's come out, because that first deck of their energy, that's one of their main focuses. I thought it was more them reflecting on it because of their toxic traits, why they do it. But maybe that's why they're reflecting on toxic ties. It could be a person that's attached to them, friend-wise, family-wise, that knows about you guys and kind of what you've been through. Maybe not the best opinion on you. I'm in love with you. And it probably scares them, because for this collective, it's taken them a long time to realize it. They've been in denial over it. It's the universe, veils. I've been working on myself and I'm not the same person anymore. Oh, and you're going to see that. The right collective, this part, the universe's part, when they come in brand new, you're going to be like, huh? The hermit, the white wolf, the new cycle, how bold they're going to be, how, like, you're going to be shocked. Completely believe this. Very beautiful. One more. Are they going to be, I always say to you guys, it's still triggering, but you guys need to get to a point you soothe each other's armor. You're there for each other's armor. You find solution through it. You build through it. It's not like you guys aren't going to be triggered ever again, but you develop enough to know how to effectively communicate. You learn how to overcome barriers, right? You learn how to not accelerate a challenge into conflict. It's not like it's going to be perfect, but you know how we talk about armor, right? And emotional blocks. Through your individual paths of change and evolution, you learn to accept those blocks, but you learn to soothe each other's blocks. Accept each other at your worst, not just your best. It's never going to be perfect, but there's enough self-realization through self-awareness for things that need to be spoken about. And I always say that triggered state, it comes up, but the right person, they will soothe it, right? But communication is needed when it comes to this stuff. If you're with someone that doesn't have the communication skills, it's always going to be full of obstacles, right? One more. Oh, too many. Can't just put on a mask and pretend, oh yeah, I'm love and light, I don't get triggered no more. That's fake. You got to be transparent. That's pissing me off. Let's talk about it, right? It's not just trying to cover, because you're going to crack. You'll become a constant kettle just on this simmer, and the littlest thing will set you off like, what? Right, collective, you'll know exactly what I'm saying. I want to make this right. I hate seeing you, I'm going to say with others, maybe they get a bit, there's still jealousy they need to work on, but this is something you guys need to talk about, right? Their jealousy is not just going to disappear. They need, clearly this person and you collective, the insecurities. So you guys need to both prove loyalty. trust in each other's loyalty. And once again, that takes time. That's not just going to all, you know, very quickly just, again, you can't be wearing a mask with this stuff. All right, let's see what's on its way. So this is going to be their next action, your advice for when it comes through, and what your potential outcome will be. Okay. Oh, I love that. I do think they're going to approach Empress energy, very emotional, but not, I think they're going to have strength and confidence, that white wolf, but I do think that they're going to have a real kindness to them. And breakthrough with communication, Ace of Swords. So themselves, I do think they're going to come in trying to soothe all the confusion, because that's one of the things you see them as right now, just confusing and an absolute mess. Ace of Swords. They are going to come in with truth. They're going to come in with powerful but logical balance of spirituality, practicality. There's going to be emotion and nurturing energy behind it, but there's also going to be truth. They want to break through, so they're going to give clarity over all the confusion here. And this card here says enlightenment, right? Clarity, truth, enlightenment through this communication. Missing information. Expansion, focusing on expansion. Now this Six of Swords, this is what you're learning. Normally when I see Six of Swords, it really is about moving on, right? To get, and this is where, what's your part? Your tarot. I think it's going to be a tough conversation. It's going to be triggering and they know it, but I think that they know to move on from the storm. The storm needs to be addressed, and this is why they know. And you, first card present as a Queen of Swords. Yes, you had that Queen of Cups as well, but they would know you as a person. You wouldn't be someone that falls short to flattery and compliments. You're probably someone that gets that all day, every day, right? You look for you could really be a stifler for in a connection without that trust and without that, like, you know, it's not getting anywhere, right? For them to have such a focus on this, they know the only way to move forward is to have that tough conversation, right? And I do think they want to talk about why the storm was here, why the confusion. But a big part for this collective, they didn't, and this may be tough to hear, I don't think this person genuinely realized how much they loved you only until recent, right? Because of your veils. So I talk about this all the time, holding on to the 4D and the what if, and they don't get it until that veil starts to shift. They're avoiding, they don't care, they're trying to distract. They may think of you, but they're seeing it more as infatuation. It was just lust, it was this, they're attracted. Like, they try and remove, right? It's only now that this person is really starting to understand the profound love they have for you. So you can't even hold it against them. It was your choice to hold on, right? We talk about this pretty much every day. It's sad because, yes, they're going to talk about this, but them themselves, yeah, they think they were denying this, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think it was ever that hard for this person through this separation to where you are now, focusing on self, being happier, this and that. I think this person was doing that, right? It's only now, because things are shifting, they're starting to go into deep reflection. Where you started that however long ago when this all started, right? You led with emotion, they led with logic. Now you're leading with logic, they're starting to reflect on emotion. So again, yes, they're going to talk about it, but I think part of this Seven of Cups is how they were confused themselves, right? They weren't ready for this. They didn't know what this was. They didn't think your values aligned. They didn't think it would, you know, end up being a life partner kind of thing. Like, there's going to be some tough things here that you yourself are going to have to hear, right? But I do think you guys will find tranquility, but it's going to take time. One more for them. Six of Cups, wanting this card says second chance at love, right? They do want a second chance. That's how they're coming in. But past life memories, friends, second chance at love, reigniting the past. Nostalgia, reflecting on, they might talk about some past memories and stuff here as well. They have a beautiful intention, but I do think some of the words that will be exchanged will be confronting for you. But it's also going to take your glasses off thinking, holy moly, I thought this person was obsessed with me the whole time. I think you've always been an in and out thought for them, but I don't think they were sitting in there in obsession this whole time, right? It's only since whatever happened that you broke your cycle, they're starting to get their emotion and that you're irreplaceable. All right, your advice. How to deal with this. Full. Okay, you got a few cards. Oh, whenever I see this, you'll know in the moment. And I think this collective, you'll know in the moment. You really will. You've got High Priestess, Judgment, Eight of... Oh, and what did we say? You can't go from a Ten of Swords to a Ten of Cups. I don't think it's about... You can't rush it. Eight of Wands. Okay. This collective, your last cycle clearly was a Ten of Swords, because that is what you guys hit rock bottom. Let's be real, right? You can't get any worse. Now, I do think this collective, one thing that's going to come over you straight away is all of the pain, because this is one of your tarot right now. You will never let yourself get back into a place that you have worked so hard to come out of. So this collective, you are so aware of emotion. As soon as this comes through, you're not going to be thinking of, oh, feelings, and you're going to be thinking, how does my body feel? How does this feel? And I think this collective, the first thing that's going to come up is this. I do think you're going to feel pain and maybe a bit of anger, maybe a bit of frustration. You're working so hard right now to relieve resentment and anger. You're working so hard on it. Again, watch this whole reading. But I feel this collective, when this comes over you, your first initial instinct is going to be to retreat. And I actually feel this collective, you do need to retreat. That's a big thing. I think there's still a lesson of you choosing self, right? But I do think you guys can activate a new story here. And I do think you guys will go through another rebirth. And I do think after a few days, you're going to ascend from the pain and you're going to start seeing things differently. But I do think this collective, you need to hold your cards close to your chest. You are going to have a moment, you want to rush this. So it reminds me of, you're going to find strength in the moment, but the overthinking is going to take over. You might end up budging. This person's going to declare some things that they mean in the moment, but you can't rush the process. The big theme of this is, if you repeat the past, if you act the same way as the past, you'll repeat the past. This collective, you guys went from 0 to 100 so quickly. Don't repeat the past. Don't try and rush energetic alignment. Don't try and rush to move forward. This collective, it's going to take time, and I'll tell you this right now, how they move forward here, we've got no cards here about them coming in with the intention, right, of true dedication and locking in. They're going to be leading with emotion and, yes, wanting to solve things. They do want a second chance, but if the Emperor, like if it was true, it's going to take time. And I think this just confirms this part. Remember, this coming through, beautiful, but it's in hammer energy. You don't want to repeat anything. So I do think you need to be a bit reserved. I do think in that moment, the gut flash of how you're feeling, take note of it, write it down. When the sense of urgency comes over to try and rush things, reflect back on that. And one thing I think you really need to, you can't go from a 10 of Swords to a 10 of Cups. That takes time. Let this person show you they've changed through action, not words. Okay? But I do think this has got potential to come into alignment. This cycle. Okay, let's see your outcome. And I do as well, I'm hearing, think you've got potential to truly reconcile the past the right way through time. And remember the first part, you could be traveling when this all happens too. So don't be changing plans around, and for like, just keep living you. Perfect. good. Okay, there's that. We love that. Okay, so you've got Ace of Wands, Four of Wands. Oh my God, look at all the it's full action, passion, success. And we love this. So you're going to find that inner child spark back here, and the spontaneity, the excitement. Very beautiful energy. Okay, all wands. I think don't lead with desire, but I do think when it comes to the passion and acceleration for one another, that is definitely going to end up captivating you both. You got Four of Wands here. You got to remember, you've got marriage and your soul contract being activated. It's not going to happen straight away, but I feel this is what you're going to lead to. I do think this person's going to be very honorable, very conquering. I do think they're going to lock in, and I do think they're going to take control of this whole situation the right way, and you're going to see that confidence. But I think it's good that you've got these two together, because it shows the strength in energy that's going to come forward, but also the excitement. I think you guys are going to ignite each other again, and it's going to be playful, but a little bit seductive. I'm not going to lie. I think it'll take time. But you guys, true divines, I always say, once you get to that point of choosing each other, you go very, very quickly. But it's just going to take time here. But once you guys feel safe in each other again, I just think you're going to hit high acceleration. See, a lot of you guys elope or just... Okay, there's that. We love that. Okay, so you've got Ace of Wands, Four of Wands. Oh my God, look at all the it's full action, passion, success. And we love this. So you're going to find that inner child spark back here, and the spontaneity, the excitement. Very beautiful energy. Okay, all wands. I think don't lead with desire, but I do think when it comes to the passion and acceleration for one another, that is definitely going to end up captivating you both. You got Four of Wands here. You got to remember, you've got marriage and your soul contract being activated. It's not going to happen straight away, but I feel this is what you're going to lead to. I do think this person's going to be very honorable, very conquering. I do think they're going to lock in, and I do think they're going to take control of this whole situation the right way, and you're going to see that confidence. But I think it's good that you've got these two together, because it shows the strength in energy that's going to come forward, but also the excitement. I think you guys are going to ignite each other again, and it's going to be playful, but a little bit seductive. I'm not going to lie. I think it'll take time. But you guys, true divines, I always say, once you get to that point of choosing each other, you go very, very quickly. But it's just going to take time here. But once you guys feel safe in each other again, I just think you're going to hit high acceleration. See, a lot of you guys elope, or just the stability, the permanence you're going to create. Strong foundation, which means this goes well. Looks good. Two of Wands, that one. Look at all the wands, the future planning, big decisions. You guys, I feel, will be on the same page. I can't believe it's all wands. That makes me think this may not... Take your time, but it makes me think it's not going to take as much time as... I think you guys will win each other's affections back quite... Don't rush it, but... It's very good. Ace of Pentacles, my miracle. Oh, but still, truth, logic, talking, intellect. I said it before, it's not just going to be perfect. You guys are going to need to, you know, you both need boundaries in place when it comes to certain triggers and communication, and you both need to accept each other's boundaries and work towards them, right? Especially when it comes to the respect of one another. Like, I just feel there's certain things here that you both need to have lenience with and acceptance with. And I think you as a pairing, when it comes to truth and honesty, this is something you guys forever need. So it was a big part of not wearing a mask and pretending like everything's okay. You guys need to learn to just, when there's things that are starting to niggle, speak about it. Don't let it accumulate, because it'll end up being, and you got the double pairing again. You've got that twice in this reading. There does logic and honesty. You guys have got a lot to rebuild with this, and that comes from, honestly, some, like, you guys need to not be wearing masks with one another. That's your obstacle here. Don't pretend like everything's all good when it's not, for both of you. So you both need to have that discussion to let each other know when a boundary's been crossed or you're feeling triggered, or you both need to feel safe in that. And you know what I always say, and I see this so much, people do, you know, oh, I need honesty, just be, and then you get honesty and then you're a triggered mess, and then you teach people to not be honest around you because you can't handle the bloody truth. You guys both need to be open to truths and honesty, right? If this is something you both need, even if you get triggered, say, well, that's pissed me off, give me some time, give me a couple days, and we'll readdress it when I'm calmed down. Like, you need to get to that point, right? Can't declare truth but not be able to handle truth. That doesn't work. Yeah, cause conflict. This is where you guys go wrong. You hide too much because it's like you don't want to get in trouble. Maybe you both struggle with a bit of conflict avoidance. Be careful. That's your block. And because you guys are so passionate, and like, I could see how things could go explosive. So another reason not to rush and be logical. You guys clearly rule with passion with one another. Like, you can't get past that. And another one here, and that's not a good one. I always say the reason this ends up being chaotic because everyone is stuck in their own truth. Remember that little deviation, how I said people only hear what they want to hear. It's like you need compromise in these moments. Learning when to walk away from the no-win situation when it's chaotic and readdress it in calm. Like these, and that's going to take time. At first you may muck up a few times and it will end up like this, but it's readdressing, right? Because you guys are ruled by passion, these are those moments. I always talk about argument styles. You got the silence of the yeller, the talker. So my dad he's going to Thailand today. You guys clearly need compromise with communication, and because you're ruled by that fire, I feel you guys need to get to a point where you understand when you're getting emotionally charged and give each other space. But I always say when you give each other space, you need to come back and readdress it, even if it's a week later. You're both lighthearted, go on a date night, go do something fun, and talk about it when you guys aren't in an accelerated state. But people will either escape the situation, I don't want to talk about it, you never readdress it, so then you don't have a solution. If you guys are going to feel it, choose to have space, you've got to come back and redirect it and find solution to what it was, right? And put tools into place. This is where you strengthen foundation. But this will be an obstacle for you guys. Don't cover your emotion. Don't accumulate your emotion. Be honest and learn how to communicate effectively and overcome barriers with that communication. This is what will build your trust and dependence on one another. This is what will prove your loyalty to one another, not running away when things get hard. Okay. Really like that reading. It's not a lost cause, the St. Jude. And the two butterflies on top of each other. Oh, we love that. Very beautiful. Lightning, Well, you've got big changes coming. This month ahead's big for this collective. Balance. The justice scale. Justice is at play. Broken ring. You could have just broken a ring or lost an amethyst crystal. Your perseverance will pay off. Ellie the elephant. Golden elixir. You guys are singing to each other right now. New moon energy. Signs. We had that deviation about you guys feeling you're not connected to signs at the moment. The golden love heart with the labradorite love heart. Abundance of the heart. Okay. 16th of the 6th, 166. Angel number, 16th of the 5th, 3rd of the 8th, 8th of the 3rd, 5-5, the 5-5 portal, and the 3-3 portal. 5-5-3-3, mirrored energy. 24th of the 3rd, 2nd of the 4th, 4th of the 2nd, 4-3-2. 10-10 for both of you. Completion for both of you. 10-10. That's big. Another portal. 14th of the 8th. Very good. All right, my loves. I love you guys. And have a good day.